But for your grace, I could not be saved. But for your grace, I would go my way.
Faith is the victory that overcomes the world. Join Pastor Isaac Godwin for an overcoming life experience through the teachings of the Word of God.
Both science and the Bible are in agreement with the fact that nothing just happens. Nothing. Both the Bible and science, they agree on that one. That nothing just happens. Testimonies don't just happen. Miracles don't happen accidentally. Changes don't occur on their own. No life changes accidentally. Positive changes must be provoked. If changes occur on their own, it will be negative. And that's the reason for this series I've been doing. Because there are many believers who are living in deception. You know that deception? They have a cliche. I know the Lord will do it. I know the Lord will do it. I won't give up. I know the Lord will do it. I know the Lord will do it. They've said it 20 years. Because it's not totally in the hand of God. God is not running this world. Understand that God is not in control of this world. He said the earth he has given to the... He said the heaven of heavens belongs to the Lord, but the earth he has given to the children of men. The earth is this vicinity, this planet called the earth. Man is in control here. Anywhere you see God doing anything on the earth, a human being has permitted him to do it. You know that a human being invited him, is coming as a guest. A human being invited him, and the human being is permitting him, and the human being is cooperating with him. Never forget this. God is not running the earth. If God is running the earth, there will be no criminal, there will be no armed robbers, there will be no kidnappers, there will be no ritual killing, there will be no evil. God is running heaven. That's why heaven is perfect. If God is running the world, there will be no child with deformities. When you look around and you see all the evils going on in the world, that's proof positive that God is not running the world. Let me bring it home. Your personal life. I want to say something that may shock some of you. Do you know that God only participates in your life by your invitation, by your permission, by your cooperation? In other words, God is not running your life. If God is running the life of believers, no believer will be poor. If God is the one running the life of Christians, no believer will be poor, no believer will be sick, no believer will be a failure, no believer will live in sin, no believer will commit sin. God is not running your life. He is not in total control. God will not be held responsible for the outcome of your life. God will not be blamed for how your life turned out. Listen, God Almighty is not running our lives. You know why? He's not making our choices. He respects your choice, whether they are good or bad. He has given you the freedom and the permission to do with your life whatever you like. The only thing he does is that if you invite him and allow him, he will try to influence you positively. He will give you instructions, he will give you counsel, he will bring teachings. But at the end of the day, you have to make a decision. This whole world is a valley, a massive valley where decisions decide destinies. The reason our lives will not turn out the same way is that we are not making the same choices. One believer is deciding to be prayerful and working towards it. The other one is not even thinking along that line. And that believer is deciding to be fasting, to be praying, to be giving. He's deciding to seek God. The other one is not making that choice. God forces nobody to pray, forces nobody to study, forces nobody to sow seeds, forces nobody to do anything. That's what he said in Deuteronomy 30:19. In Deuteronomy, okay, let's open it. In the book of Deuteronomy chapter 30, I want to show you something. Jesus. Deuteronomy chapter number 30 is our year, our month of possessing our possessions. Now look at this in Deuteronomy 30. We're going to do verse 19. Verse 19. Look at what he said there. He said, I call. God is talking. God is one saying this. He said, I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore, I'm advising you, because anyone you choose, I'm not going to interfere with it. Therefore, choose life, that both you and your seed may live. God said, I present before you, life is available, that is available. The blessed life is available. The cursed life is available. He said, what decides the one you're walking is the choices you make. Your choices, become your actions. They choose whether you live in the curse or in the blessing. There are actions that trigger the curse, and there are actions that trigger the blessing. All of them are choices we make. I want to bring a message that if you will embrace, we'll give you a song to sing. I'm teaching you things I've practiced and things I'm practicing. Things that have helped me and things that are helping me. These are convictions. These are not opinions. An opinion is something you hold. A conviction is something that is holding you. These are convictions holding my life. Let me write this in your Bible. Write in capital letter. The seed is the secret. The seed is the secret of whatever you are trusting God for in the kingdom. The seed is the secret. I want to show you something here. In Genesis, chapter 7 of Genesis. Genesis 7. Are you there? Genesis 7. I'm waiting for you to get to Genesis chapter 7. We're going to do verse 3, just one verse. Genesis chapter 7. We're going to do verse number 3. Are you there now? Let's read it together. I want to go. Of fowls also of the air by sevens, the male and the female, to keep what? Underline it. To keep seed alive on the earth. To keep seed alive upon the face of all the earth. Do you know what God is saying? Never forget what I'm about to tell you. The seed is the principle of multiplication. The seed is the principle of reproduction. The seed is the principle of productivity. The seed is the principle of increase. What I'm trying to convey is that the moment seed finishes, death will set in. So he said, preserve seed, because if seeds are wasted, if seeds are destroyed, we cannot have multiplication, we cannot have reproduction, we cannot have increase, we cannot have productivity. If seeds are not preserved, there can be no changes. So God said to him, he was talking to Noah, he said, keep seed alive on the earth, because if seed is eliminated from the earth, decadence and death will set in. There will be no reproduction, there will be no multiplication, there will be no increase, there will be no productivity in the absence of seed. If you gather all the mango seeds on the earth today and destroy them, in what will happen? You will never see another mango tree. You will never see another mango fruit. You will never see another mango plantation. The future of the mango generation is inside the mango seed. The expansion of the mango species is inside the mango seed. The multiplication, the reproduction, the increase, the productivity of the mango tree is in the mango seed. If you gather out the mango seeds in Nigeria now and destroy it, if you see any mango in Nigeria, it will be imported. What I'm trying to show you, that's how it is. If you get all the males, all the men in Nigeria, castrate them, that's you remove their seed, you know what will happen? Whatever population is now in Nigeria, there will not be +1 to it. The reason Nigeria will keep multiplying is because the seed is still there, it can be planted. If you castrate all the men in Nigeria, whatever is the number we have in Nigeria now will not increase by even 1. Because the seed is the force behind increase, multiplication, reproduction, increase. What I'm trying to let you know, I'm trusting God to get this across to you. Watch believers who play with seed sowing. Meet him now. Meet him 20 years later. You won't see a remarkable change. You'll be telling the same story in 20 years to come. If you see a believer who is experiencing massive changes, massive movement, massive reproduction and multiplication, increase and productivity, check that person. That person is the one who has conquered the spirit of stinginess. If you understand what I'm telling you, you will never need motivation to become a seed sower. Because the only force capable of moving your life to a new level, of increasing you and multiplying you, is the seed principle. Let me tell you, the church of this, most believers are eaters. They are eaters. They're not sowers. They are eaters. So anything they touch, they eat, they buy clothes, they save. And they say they're doing investment. Check these people. Mark them. If they look like they're going up, it's a matter of time they're going up to come down. He said, keep seed alive. I'm talking to you both from I'm a student. I've researched this principle. I've studied it. And I've observed givers. I've observed sowers and eaters. Many years ago, as a new pastor coming up, I sat down and looked at all the men of God I want to be like. And I started studying them. I found that all of them were dangerous givers. I said, this is how I want to be. You know, If I knew when I was in school what I know now, I wouldn't have feared maths. Once you can study examples, you understand maths. All you need to do is look at those who are making progress, study their secrets. You know what to do to prosper. It's easy to prosper. Just ignore the failures. Look at those who have results, who are moving forward. The secret of men are in their stories. That's why I don't go to men of God to sit down. I don't go and sit down in somebody's reception. I want to see this man. I don't waste my time. I've bought every book Oyedepo ever wrote. I bought them twice. I bought all of them when they were Nigerian copies. I read them all. When they imported new machines and started new prints, I bought second set. So I don't have to go and sit down with him and be saying, sir, this or this. In my study, I draw from the words of his wisdom. Because the secrets of men are in their stories. Kenneth Copeland started flying jets since 1972. I have every book he has ever released. I have every book Gloria has ever released. I know the secret. Oral Roberts is the pioneer of the seed faith principle on the earth today. I have his book. So what I'm trying to get you to see is that whatever you see me talking to you here is ancient wisdom. You can pick it, apply it to your life, you will see changes. Ignore it and Luther continue. Just be struggling. You'll be among those who are running around the body of Christ, running around full of activities, and then later in your life you will be querying God. God is wicked. What I'm saying, understand that generosity is what begets prosperity. That you don't become prosperous until you become generous. Supernatural generosity is what provokes supernatural prosperity. It is impossible for someone who is not generous in God's kingdom to be prosperous. I have even seen my own sons and daughters who have been around me for years in this ministry. I've seen this lack of applying listen, barb them, keep them struggling and toiling. Let me tell you, when forces are after you like ancestral powers, the way they gain dominion is that they walk you against the principle that is to give you dominion over them. They will keep influencing you to violate principles. Because listen, principles are stronger than principalities. Scriptural principles are stronger than principalities. And when you discover the principle that will give you dominion over them, they will be moving you against it. They can move you to be doubting it. Like if you see somebody who have very terrible foundation, they will doubt. They will tell you tithe in his Old Testament. It's those powers. Because they know if they start paying tithe, they have escaped. They will fight your giving life, fight your tithing life, fight you from giving sacrifice. You can even find yourself getting angry when I'm preaching on sacrifice. It's not on your own. 2 Corinthians chapter 9, verse number 6. But this I say, he which soweth sparingly shall reap also sparingly. And he which soweth bountifully shall reap also bountifully. I want to read the Amplified. Listen to the Amplified rendition. Remember this. He who sows sparingly and grudgingly will also reap sparingly and grudgingly. And he who sows generously, that blessings may come to someone, will also reap generously and with blessings. You know what this is telling you? What is telling you? That you cannot be bigger in your receiving than you are in your giving. That what sets the pace, what determines how much you receive and how often, what determines how much you receive is how much you give. And what determines how often you receive is how often you give. There are believers that once they sow one seed like this, they'll be dancing around it for 1 year. In other words, to them, sowing has no rhythm. There's no consistency. It's not a lifestyle. But remember, I've taught you that who is a teacher? Huh? A teacher is not someone who teaches. A teacher is someone who teaches for a living. It's a lifestyle. Who is a footballer? It's not someone who plays football. If you see some guys playing football on the street, they're not footballers. A footballer is someone who plays football for a living. Now, who is a sower? Who is a giver? A giver is someone who gives for a living. A sower is someone who sows for a living. It's a lifestyle. It's not saying last year I did this and then it's trying to survive on the memory of the seed he sowed last year. As if you can survive on the memory of the food you ate 2 months ago. He who sows sparingly. Let me tell you, I am very concerned. And God was talking to me this afternoon. He says, so let me tell you what you should be checking to decide, to know when your people start, when the life of your children start changing. I said, what is it? He said, be checking your offering box. Listen, every week before Sunday, you should be thinking of what will I give God today. It's not something you just stroll into church and then when it's offering time, you just put your hand into your pocket. Any miserable thing you see there, you come and drop it. There are some of you, your offerings have never been accepted by God before, and it's affecting you. You should give serious thought to anything you want to give God. God is and always remember that the man you are giving this is a king, is the monarch of the universe. Many of us don't live with the consciousness of the reality of God. That's why you can come to church after you have eaten, you come and drop change as offering. And this afternoon he was telling me, he said your children have not gotten the key. When they get the key, you will notice from the offering basket that they have gotten the key. Offering is as spiritual as Holy Communion. It's as spiritual as fasting and prayer. Many of you don't even think of what will I give God this month? What will I give God this week? You just come. When it's offering time, you just run around, pick anything you see, drop. You can't change those. Listen, your offerings are supposed to be ending your sufferings, but you have to be giving what the Bible calls acceptable offerings. Accept. Some of you will have, there are many of you who have serious money in your pocket. When you want to give, you just give the least note, 15 naira. No. In fact, if you are serious about your prosperity, you should every week decide, every week, I'm going to be giving God this amount. Maybe 5,000, maybe 10,000 at your level. Maybe 2,000. Listen, you don't leave your prosperity and your future to chances. Some of you insult God during offering time. Offering time is the most important aspect. Apart from the word time, the next most critical part of the service is offering time. Because it's spiritual. Your worship is not complete. Because you know what he told us in the Bible? He said, none shall appear before me empty. I'm a king. Don't appear before me empty. Your worship is not complete in any service until you have given offering. But many of you bring the lame, the blind. God does not accept every offering. Remember that Cain offered, Abel offered, God rejected Cain's own. There are many of you, when I watch, I know that this thing you are giving is not recorded, it's not accepted. It entered the offering basket, church collected it, but God didn't accept it. And that's why you don't see the effect in your life. No. Train yourself. And as God increases you, let the increase God gives you reflect in your offerings. It's not only tithes that he told us to give. He said, honor me in tithes, and he said, and what? Offerings. Offering is as spiritual as tithe. The only thing is that he decided that tithe is 10%. But your offering, he said, this one is where you don't demonstrate how much you love me and honor me. Because your offering shows, when you're carrying offering, it shows the level of value you attach to God. It shows the level of honor you have for God. Some of you, even on Sundays, give me more than you give God. I understand it. But what I'm saying is, You should give a thought to what you give on Sunday. In fact, every week you should plan your givings at home when you're praying. When you start this lifestyle, you will discover that you can't outgive God. You will discover that giving is not losing. What I'm teaching you is, I'm still telling you, this is how you deal with the powers of poverty after you. And there are vicious spirits of poverty in Africa. Let me tell you the truth. Acceptable offerings end sufferings. Acceptable offerings end sufferings. If you see that somebody has been born again and serving God for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, and there is no change, that person has not been giving God acceptable offerings. If the offerings you have been giving God for the past 2 years are all accepted, your life will not be the way it is now. If the offerings you've been giving God for the past even 1 year has been accepted, your life will not be the way it is now. The key to changes is start giving God offerings that honor Him, that can be accepted. Because anyone He accepts, the harvest can be stopped. But the ones He has rejected has no future. And I can tell you from the Bible that God does not accept everything given to Him. There are things you give God and He feels insulted by it. Open to Malachi. Let me show you something in Malachi. You can't bring God to, you can't tap into His blessings if you continue with that kind of carelessness. We're not religious here. We have light. I know that many of us came from one kind of religious backgrounds and all that. But when you come to a place of light, walk in the light you do have. Malachi chapter 1. Open to Malachi 1. I want to share something with you. Malachi chapter number 1. Are you there? Malachi chapter 1. I'm waiting for you to give you there. Say amen. Are you there? Verse 6. 1, 2, go. Verse 6. A son honoreth his father, and a servant his master. If then I be your father, where is my honor? And if I be a master, like we say, I'm your Lord and master and your father, where is my fear? Say the Lord of hosts unto you, O priests. You know we are priests. He has made us priests unto our God. O priests that despise my name. You say you despise my name. And you say, wherein have we despised your name? Read verse 7. You offer polluted bread upon my altar. And you say, wherein have we polluted thee? In that you said, the table of the Lord is contemptible. Verse 8. And if you offer the blind for sacrifice, is it not evil? And if you offer the lame and sick, is it not evil? Offer it now to your governor. Can you give your governor the kind of type of things you give God? Many of you think God doesn't have sense. You think he's one old man in heaven that doesn't have any sense, that doesn't pay attention. He said, these things you are giving me, can you give them to your governor? That means you don't show any, the things you give to me don't show any respect and honor. He said, give it down to your governor. Can you give it to your governor? Will he be pleased with you if you give it to him and accept your person, said the Lord? Look up. Look up here. Did you see what God said here? This is showing you that there are many givings people do that God feels insulted by. Everything you give either honors God or insults him. Your offerings show your honor or dishonor for God, your respect or disrespect. You can come and sing and cry in worship and take offering and insult him during offering time. And you can't see his best insulting him, dishonoring him. Because he said, those that honor me, I will honor. But those who despise me, like he said, these people are despising me with their givings, shall be lightly esteemed. If you want to see the honor of God, you have to start honoring God in your givings. How do you honor God? Make sure that your giving represents your best. Nobody's telling you to go and steal and give God. Nobody's telling you to go and borrow and give God. But we are saying that let your givings represent your best. Let your givings reflect your level, reflect your capacity, reflect the level God has brought you into.